lectures now. Others can join meanwhile. Okay, nice to see you. Not seeing actually, just to join with you. First, let me to share my screen. Hope you all can see the screen. Hello?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so today your course unit title is Principles of Microeconomics. Okay, hope you all know this course today because I'm just teaching you for the first time. So this is your first year, first semester. So this is course code. And this year, so you have this course has 2 credits and 30 hours lectures. Okay, hope to stay with you till the end of this course. So your degree is a BSc in Agro Industry Management, Faculty of Agriculture, Aquinas College of Higher Studies. So I'll introduce myself, because you can see me for the first time today. I'm Gangani Chandima Samaravira. I got my BSc from Faculty of Agriculture, University of Ruhuna, and MSc from Indira Gandhi Agriculture University, India, and PhD from Huachong Agriculture University in China. So currently I'm working as a professor, Department of Agriculture Economics and Agribusiness, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Ruhuna. Okay, so I can see some of your names. So first of all, I'll just inform this lecture series is the somewhat two-way communication. Okay, sometimes I may ask questions, then you can answer. If you have any problems during the lecture also, please stop me and ask any question. Is it that speed is okay for you to catch what I'm saying, students? Is it clear for you? Oh, okay. If any problem, please inform me. So first of all, we will see what does this unit aim. Okay, because your unit says principles of microeconomics. Now we will see what is the aim of this unit. Okay, so first of all, it's better to understand the aim, because this unit provides an introduction to core areas of microeconomics. That means the main areas of microeconomics. Finally, we will see what is microeconomics. First of all, the aim of this course is to provide an introduction of these core areas or main areas of microeconomics. Our main aim of this introduction is to provide an insight into how best to allocate scarce resources. Okay, so you know we have many resources, but they are not abundantly available. That's why scarce resources. We are going to explain this later on. Now we will see briefly the aim of this course, provide the introduction of these core areas or main areas of microeconomics with a view of providing an insights into how best to allocate scarce resources, how to allocate these resources first. Then it covers fundamentals for various decision-making units, because in our society we have different decision-making units. We are going to learn who are they, mainly in microeconomics. Micro, I think name implies the meaning, no? Small, micro. Micro car, okay, so everything I think you know the meaning of micro. So we are going to deal with individuals and firms in order to make rational consumption and production decisions. We are going to learn these words one by one. What is rational consumption? What's rational production? Okay, so these decisions are very important in microeconomics. Okay, so first of all, I'll give you a brief introduction of the intended learning outcomes. So at the end of this unit, or after learning this unit, you should ask questions from yourself. After ending this all unit, you should be able to explain how competitive markets allocate scarce resources. So we are going to learn about competitive markets. We are going to learn about allocation of scarce resources. Then you will be able to explain how competitive markets allocate these resources. Okay. So second intended learning outcome is use economic fundamentals. We have different fundamentals in microeconomics. So we have to use these fundamentals to make rational economic decisions. You will be able to learn what are economic decisions, what are rational economic decisions. Okay. Meantime, just familiar with these words. I'll explain one by one later on when we come to these sections. Okay. Then describe the various market structures and compare their efficiency. That means we are going to learn about various or different types of market structures, and we are going to compare their efficiency one by one. Then we are going to learn about market efficiency as well. Okay. Then this course aims to use fundamental economic principles to analyze the situation in terms of economy, because this is microeconomics. Okay. So these are the main intended learning outcomes or ILOs in this course. So throughout these 30 hours, these are the contents you need to learn. Okay. First of all, we'll introduce what is microeconomics. Then under that different subsections are there. I'm going to teach you these subsections one by one. Basically, you need to learn these subsections separately. For example, introduction to microeconomics, you need to learn scarcity, opportunity cost, and fundamentals of economic problems. We have many problems. Then we need to identify demand and supply. Okay. Sometimes you may know what is demand, what is supply, but we are going to learn in microeconomics in detail what is micro level demand and micro level supply. And then next section, we are going to learn about the elasticity. Okay, so in this case, we are going to find out demand, elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and all we are going to learn under elasticity, price elasticity of demand. Okay. Then theory of consumer choice. Your fourth content under this unit is theory of consumer choice. Then production and cost we are going to learn, theory of markets, and finally different applications we are going to learn. Okay, so these are the main contents you are going to learn throughout this course during this 30 hours period. Okay, is it clear for you all? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Please inform if you are not hearing clearly or any problems, because online teaching somewhat problematic sometimes. You may not hear. Please give us inform me or give me a small chat message. Okay. Okay. So these are all contents you have to learn during this 30 hours period. Okay. Then I'll inform you the method of evaluation as well at the beginning. Then you will be ready for your course from the beginning. Okay. I hope you all will get maximum marks for my course. Okay. So this is continuous assessment 40% and semester end assessment 60%. Okay. That means At the end of the semester, I am giving you a paper to assess you. At that time, you can take 60%. Even though you are brilliant student of learning everything, what I am teaching, you can get only 60% because 40% is for your continuous assessment. That means I am assessing you continuously. For that, I will give you 2 quizzes. One contains 5 marks, 5% of all. Then altogether 10% for the quizzes. And I'm planning to give you 3 assignments. In that case, you can take 10 marks for each assessment, then total 30% for your assessments. Then 10% for your quizzes and 30% of your assignments you can take all together continuous assessment 40%. Then you can take in semester examination 60%. Okay. So from the beginning, I wish you all the best to get maximum marks for my subject. Okay. So then this end semester assessment, here you can see SA, semester end assessment. These are the cases. Okay, so in part 1, you are given MCQ paper for 30 minutes. 20 questions are given. You have to answer all questions and 10% marks are given. Because your end semester, I told 60%. Okay, so that's why, that's the way how these percentages divided. Okay, so here you can see part 1 MCQ 10%, part 2 essay paper, time allocation is 90 minutes, number of questions 5. You have to write 4 questions. I'll give you question 1 and 2 compulsory, then 45%, then viva voce examination. You can give 15 minutes we allocate for one student, and several questions will be asked based on the theory I'm teaching you. Then you have to answer all questions to get maximum 5%. Okay, then total 60%. I think, hope you all understood how your evaluation divided into continuous assessment and semester end assessment. Okay, now we'll move to our section. Hope you all got some insights into this course. Okay, so this is Introduction to Microeconomics. So under section 1, you need to understand about the scarcity, opportunity, and fundamentals of economic problems. Okay, so after learning this section today, you will be able to explain what scarcity is and to understand the way of using scarce resources to fulfill unlimited wants. Okay, so we have scarce or limited resources to fulfill unlimited wants. Now we will see one by one. Okay, first of all, we will see what is economics. Okay, so I think you all heard about Alfred Marshall, the greatest economist in the 19th century. Now we are in 21st century, no? Then 19th century economist, in his textbook of Principles of Economics, he explained economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business life. That means study of ourselves. So this definition of economics is as true today as it was in 1890, because Alfred Marshall explained this in 1890. Okay. And why study economics? Meanwhile, please stop me and ask any questions if you have. Okay. So why study economics? Before going to microeconomics, first we will see why we study economics. Actually, it helps you to understand the world in which you live. Okay, what is the situation of the world where you live? What is the economic situation? How people buy things, how people eat things, how people live. Okay, so these all you can learn while you are studying economics. Next one, it makes you to understand that you are a participant in the economy. After studying economics, you are also participant because you are doing some exchange. Maybe today, while going to your classes, you have taken your breakfast, you have taken your lunch. Okay, so at that time, you purchase something. I mean, transactions you have to do. You have to give money and take something to eat. Okay, so that means it makes you understand that you are also a participant in the economy. Another thing, it gives you a better understanding of both the potential and limits of economic policy, because there are different economic policies. Then you can understand how these policies have potential to implement, and sometimes some policies have some limits. Okay, so monetary policy and different import policies, exchange policies. So different policies are there. Then while studying economics, you will be able to learn these all. Okay, so these are the main three things you can explain why you study economics. Now we'll see economic activity. Okay, what does, if I ask a question from you, who are the households? What may be your answer? Households? Anyone? Sorry?
Samanya Janata.
Yes, normal general public, including you all. Very good. Okay, so households means we all. Okay, our mother, our father, our, if you are a student, okay, all these people who are acting as the economic agents, because every people, if you are studying as a student, you need many things as households from the firms. Okay, so maybe shop, you need books, you need pencils. Okay, so you need bags. So these all you need. That's why then households and firms are continuously interacting. Okay, so that's why this two-way interaction. Households need firms. Firms need households. Why? Otherwise, they are not earning profits, because firms are producing things for the households. Okay, so then when households and firms are interacting, the place we called the economy. So they are doing economic activities, both of them, households, firms. So in this area we call as the economy, where these transactions or receiving and giving money is taking place. We call it as the place we call it as a economy. Okay, so that's why economy we can explain households and firms engaging in production and exchange in particular geographic region referred to as the economy. Okay, so you can see here households and firms are there. This geographic location we can call as the economy. Okay, so economic activities are carried out by households with the firms. Okay, so firms also, then you can see here in two-sector circular flow, households and firms are there. That's why two-sector. Other sectors may be, import, export markets, we are not considering here. Okay, here in micro level, we consider only households and firms. Okay. Then firms, what they do? They give output to the households. Then from the households, we can also work as a labor. Then factor service as labor, they can contribute to firms, because in firms you can see laborers are there. They are working in order to produce some output to the households. Okay. So then when firms producing output to the households, households give money to firms on behalf of their output. Let's say firms are giving, let's say as a student, you need a book. Okay. So laborers prepared that book, and that book as output you are taking. Okay. For that you are giving money because you are consuming. Not consuming means not only eating. No. Books also you can consume. You use this book. Okay. So consumption in economic terms we can say it also as a consumption. Consuming goods and services. Okay. What are the main services households can take from the firms as output? Examples? Which type of services normally?
Electricity.
Which type of them? Sorry?
Electricity.
Very good. Electricity. Your education also a service. Okay. And your medicine, health service. Okay. So these are all services. For these services also, household should pay money. Okay. So that's why as output we can take goods as well as services to the households. Okay. Then instead of getting this output, goods or services, households will pay money in return to the firms. These are day-to-day works. Hope you can understand. Okay. Then firms give, let's say labor provides from households to firms to produce things. So in return, what firms do? Firms give salary to the labor. Simply. Okay. So that's why here you can see that circular flows. That means households, firms. In between households, firms, you can see this circular flow. Households provide factor services to the market, factors, especially labor. Then firm, instead of that, firms give salaries to labor. That means factor rewards. It is income to the household. Other side, firms provide output, goods or services to the households. Then in return, households pay money to firms. Household expenditure. Clear the two-sector circular flow to you all? Can you explain this? Is it clear to you all, or any student didn't get the point clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So this is somewhat, simple model. You can see households, business firms. From the business firms, goods and services are moving to households. Then households will provide resources. Basically, we discussed here labor resource. Okay. So then let's say households provide resources to the business firms. Business firms will give money as income to the households. Okay. So here you can observe clearly how this two-way goes. Okay. So then here you can see again from the business firms, they will give goods and services to the households. In return, households will pay money for these goods and services. Okay. So these both, I think the same diagram we explained before. It is somewhat simple diagram, you can see clearly. So here solid lines, see here, all solid lines are there. They are just flow of money. Firms give salary to households. Households give money for their goods and services to the firms. So these two are flow of money. Okay. So then you can see the goods and services also moving, resources are also moving. But here the money is
Recording in progress.
now we'll move to economic problem. So there are main three questions in an economy. Okay, economy faces these problems. Let's say you are a firm or business owner. So you have one question: what goods and services should be produced? What are the goods and services you should produce? And how should? That means what are the goods and services and how you are going to produce these things, by using which type of resources, how you are using these resources. So these all you have to answer. Then who should get the goods and services that you produced? Okay, who are the customers of our goods and services? How we have to produce goods and services? What we need to produce? If you produce goods and services, and if you know how you should produce and who are your customers, then your questions are solved. Okay, for that we have these fundamental questions, basically for whom, what to produce, how to produce, mainly. Okay, mainly these three questions can arise. That's why we have these resources. Okay, so these are the main factors of production. In microeconomics, we basically learn about the land, labor, and capital. Okay, so land, you know, all the natural resources of the earth, because earth carries all natural resources. Land bears these all. Our forest, our water. Have you learned about natural resources in your course units? Still, I'm not familiar with your names. Sorry. May I ask question from Gishani? Gishani, have you learned about natural resources? Hello? Hope Gishan is there. Hello? Gishani? 22 AIM 001. Gaya Gishan. Are you there? Hello?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Have you learned about natural resources in your course? Not yet. How many courses normally you are learning?
6, ma'am.
Sorry, how many? Miss
6.
Bandara? 6. Okay. So there you don't have natural resources, I hope.
Aquatic resources.
Okay, aquatic. Oh, very good, very good. Aquatic resources also one of the natural resources. Aquatic fishery resource. Okay. So in natural resources, normally we have two types: renewable and non-renewable resources. Okay. So non-renewable, you may have heard about mineral, coal. It takes millions of years to regenerate. Okay. But aquatic resource, as you explained, is a renewable resource. Okay. We can renew if it getting degraded. But all resources have limit. The environmental pollution, everything has a limit. So that's why we have to consider these all, and under main factors of production, that's why we need to learn about the land. Land bears all other resources. Okay. Gems and all. Gems are non-renewable resource. Finish means finished forever. Okay. It takes millions of years to regenerate again. Another main factor of production is labor. Okay. That is human effort. We can say both mental and physical. Okay. So, physically active laborers are there. Mentally, that means they use their mental power. Okay. That means like scientists and all, mentally they work in a very, very hard way. But some casual laborers and they use their physical fitness to do their task. Okay. So for these two, use mental or physical effort. They turn this effort into production. In the production process, they use this. Let's say for laborer, let's say a paddy field, a farmer uses a laborer. That laborer they support to produce rice. Okay, so that's why they use their physical power to produce things. Okay. Another important thing is capital. The equipments and structures used to produce goods and services. Okay, machineries are there. Okay, so different equipments, drillers. Okay, some different structures. Okay, network, that greenhouses. Okay, so these type of structures we can use to produce goods and services. Okay, so then we need to understand there are main basic questions here: for whom, what to produce, how to produce. We can take answers by using these factors. Okay. Then let's say for whom. Then we need to decide who are our consumers, our customers. Okay. Then what to produce. Then also we can decide, because we have the land and all other resources. Then we have to decide what to produce. Okay. So these three questions: for whom, what to produce, and how to produce, what's the way, because it depends on our capital and other equipment structures we have. Okay. So that's why if we have these type of questions, fundamental questions of economics, If we have these factors of production, we can give the answers for these questions. Okay. Then we'll move wants and needs. Because if we consider these resource base, we need to consider these factors and factors of production. We need to satisfy people's needs and wants. Why we produce things? Why you eat your dinner now? Because it satisfies your demand. That means you are in hungry. It eliminate or just give a remedy to your hunger. Okay. So likewise, we are producing things because production purposes needs human satisfaction. That means we have wants and needs. Do you know the difference between wants and needs? Basic economics. Still you are in first year, maybe you are not knowing exactly. Wants and needs. Anybody who can just think what may be the difference between needs and wants? Anjali? Do you have an idea? Oh, Patirana?
Need something necessary to live.
Yes, Anjali?
Need something necessary to live and function.
Yes, very good. Needs are essential for our survival. For example, can we stay without drinking water? No. Okay. So our basic needs are there. We can't live without having these. Okay. But wants means we can live without having them. Let's say now I want an ice cream. I will not die if I didn't take an ice cream. Okay. But I am in very thirsty situation. I need a water. I will die if I don't get a glass of water because I am in fully thirst situation. Okay. So the main difference between needs and wants are, as Anjali explained clearly, needs are necessities of our life. She clearly explained the answer. Okay. So the necessities of life which enables us to survive. That means food, water, clothing, our shelter. Without having it, sometimes we may die because we don't have proper roof. We can't stay under the tree. Okay, under a tree. So we should have a proper shelter and proper health care. Okay, these are our basic needs. Otherwise, because it needs for our survival. But our wants are the things which we believe make for more comfortable and enjoyable. For example, your smartphones. If you are staying in an AC room, so that's also maybe you want to stay. Okay. Sometimes more comfortable vehicles. Okay, you will not die without having them, but it needs you are demanding just to make your life more comfortable or enjoyable. Okay, so I think clearly you can differentiate needs and wants. We need to mainly focus on needs, not the wants. Okay, so here you can see basic needs. Wants are many. Okay, many wants, but few needs. These needs are essential for our life. Then normally our demand for these wants and needs are greater than ability to satisfy them. Why? Demand for these wants and needs are more. Ability to satisfy them is we are satisfying these wants and needs by using resources. Clear? So that's why we can't satisfy all our needs. We can't satisfy all our demand, all our wants. Because how many people are there in our country now? What's the population in Sri Lanka? Anyone knows? Population, Sri Lankan population?
2.2 billion.
Very good. Nearly 20 million people. 2.2 billion. So that's why these 2.2 billion people or 20 million people or 22 million people needs food, needs water. Okay. So we have 22 million mouths. Just imagine. In your family, maybe 3 or 4 members. But as a country, we have 22 million people. Okay. So their demand for things, their demand for clothes, their demand for water, their demand for foods are high. Okay. It is getting increased day by day because birth rates are more and now low death rates because of good medicines. Okay, our health sector is now improving, so we can find good medicine for our diseases. So that's why people's birth rate is increasing rather than death rate. So the demand for things are more and more because they need shelter. For this, they need to cut trees. These are the resources. Trees are renewable natural resources. Though we need to protect these resources, we can't stay without having a shelter. That's why with the population increasing, we have to give their needs as well rather than their wants. Okay, so that's why the scarcity comes. Scarcity means society has limited resources. Therefore, society cannot produce all the goods and services. Services that household demand. Understood? So if they provide all goods and services that household demand, they have to say our resources should give 22 million people's our resources should provide 22 million people's demands, but it's difficult. Okay, so that's why scarcity means the limited nature of society's resources. Okay, then briefly you have to think we have unlimited wants but limited resources to satisfy them. Let's say we have the need of water. 22 million people at least need of glass of water. But water is scarce. We have limited available. If water is available abundantly, the pure water is a limited factor. Okay, so that's why the scarcity means society has the limited resources to fulfill the demand of goods and services that households requested. Okay, so scarcity here also you can see in brief, that is a basic economic problem, that is the gap between limited resources and theoretically limitless wants or unlimited. Our wants are limitless. Sometimes we need 1 stair house, then we need no, I want 2 stairs. Then I want to make it with AC. Okay, then AC facilities. Then different facilities you like to get. Okay, So that's why we have limitless wants. If we get one, we need two. If we get two, we need four. Okay, you know the people's behavior. Okay, so that's why they say here apple picture. Okay, so some people just see, they are imagining 2, 3. So gradually their demands or their wants, they need more and more. Okay, so that's why the main problem, basic economic problem, scarcity occurs. Okay, so here this picture also explains thousands of words. Okay, so we have limited resources, that means land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship also limited. Entrepreneurship means how we, entrepreneurship. That means how we allocate this land, labor, capital. That means our skills. So let's say we have abundant land, we have abundant labor, we have abundant capital, missionaries, money and all. But if we don't know how to use this land, how to use this labor, how to use this capital, our effort is useless. Okay, so that's why we need to have the entrepreneurial skills to combine these all resources. So you can see we have limited resources but unlimited wants. So you can see, okay, so we can't balance. It's difficult to balance because we have the limited resources. We have many demands for our foods, clothes, shelter, security, medicine, jewelry. Okay, all are there. Needs and wants both are there. But we need to, we have to use limited resources to satisfy these. Okay, so that there is a challenge. What is the challenge? The decisions must be made by households and firms about how to allocate our incomes and resources to meet our wants and needs. Okay, so there's a challenge. Like producers need to take highest profits, but consumers need to take highest satisfaction. Then producers, in order to take highest profits, how producers sell their products? In order to take profits, how they need to sell their products? I don't know whether you
High
got
price.
very good, high prices. But from the consumer side, if they need to satisfy what they're expecting, their satisfaction is high when the prices are
High quality.
high quality. And how about price?
Low
Expensive.
price.
Very good, low price. I think only Bandara is answering, no? Other students, very good. Bandara's answers are very good, very correct. But other students also please answer. Okay, I don't know whether you got my point or not. Okay, very good. Then from the producer side, we need to, producers expect high prices to get more profits. From the consumer side, they need low prices with good quality to get maximum satisfaction. That is controversial situation, no? Then how to sell the same product at higher and lower prices? And that means production cost is more, means producers have to sell these at higher prices. But at that time, consumers are unhappy because they have to get higher prices. They don't like to get higher prices. Okay, so that's why that's also a challenge. So here the main challenge we face in microeconomics point of view, how to allocate our incomes and the limited resources to meet our wants and demands. Okay, so that's why we do this economics to see how a society manages its scarce resources. Okay. Now we will see how people make decisions in that point. So they have to make decisions. Okay. And they have to use these resources rationally. For that, they are making decisions. So in that case, normally we use the term trade-offs. Okay. So trade-offs means normally you have to lose the benefits from a decision. Let's say you have you took two decisions because many things have different alternatives. Let's say land. Okay. Different alternative uses. You can make it as a cinema hall, or make it as a paddy field, or make it as a lecture hall to learn. Okay. So these are the alternative sources. But households, let's say I am a firm owner, so I need to take a decision what to do there. Then I have to trade off one decision or give up one decision to set. That's why I have to sacrifice one option. So that is trade-off. That's the way people make decisions. Okay. So in that case, we will take one example. Though it carries many words, I'll explain it clearly. So let's say economic undergraduate student decide how to allocate their time. How to allocate his time, okay, one student. So he can spend all the time studying, one option. The benefit is he can get the better degree or better grade. Then other way, he can spend all time enjoying leisure activities, playing and doing his hobbies. Okay. He can divide one thing, he can study all time, one thing he can enjoy all time. Another option, he can divide time. For every hour he study, he give up the benefits of an hour. He could have devoted to spending time in the gym, because if he study all time, he has to trade off his spending time for entertainment or leisure activity. Okay, so that's why trade-off means we can say the student must trade off the benefits from studying against the benefits of using their time in other ways. Have you got this point? Trade-off? Many examples I can give for these. Okay. So if you are engaging in two activities, if you have to give up or sacrifice one activity, you have to trade off your decision. Okay. So that's why you can't have these both activities. You have to have only one activity. Is it clear trade-off? Any student who didn't get the point clearly? Do you have batch rep in your batch? Is it Kumara? Oh, sorry, Bandara.
No,
No batch rep. No?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative? You are the representative?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Then any student who didn't get the point, sorry. All understood?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move another important point, opportunity cost. Okay. So now wait 1 minute. Okay, so this is also a very important concept in microeconomics. So opportunity cost is the measure of the options sacrificed in making a decision. Okay, when you are trade-offing, when you are doing trade-off, you have to have the opportunity cost in simply. Okay, because the cost, the foregone cost. For example, the opportunity cost of going to university is the wages from full-time work that you have had to sacrifice. For example, let's say you are a student, okay, university student. Then you have the opportunity to do full-time work as well. Let's say you have selected of going to university. Then your foregone cost, that means if you didn't go to university, you would have worked as a full-time laborer. So these days, how much normally labor wages per day? Labor wages around 3,000, I think. These days, economic crisis. Okay, so let's say 3,000. So let's say one student is staying 4 years in a university. Instead, he would have done full-time work 3,000 per day, full-time. Okay. Hope, imagine, assume the student get all 4 years work as well. Okay. Then the opportunity cost is 3,000 per day cost should multiply 4 years duration days. Okay, then you can find out the value. So the foregone cost is that one. That is opportunity cost of that student is that one. Okay, but sometimes he may not have chance to do full-time work. Then we can't calculate the opportunity cost like this. Okay, so opportunity cost is the foregone cost. Let's say for a recent example, I can take, rather than staying 2 hours in this lecture, you may go to a shop and do a part-time job, 2 hours. Okay, then you may get, let's say, per day 5,000 rupees. Okay, so but without going to that part-time job, you came to the lecture to learn something. So your foregone cost or opportunity cost is how much? Let's say you plan to get 5,000 rupees in a hotel, working in a hotel now during these 2 hours. Then what is your opportunity cost? Hope you got my point. Yes, Vasana? Yes. Vasana, what may be your answer? Let's say these 2 hours, you have 2 options. You can come to the lecture and listen to my lecture. Or you can go to any hotel nearby and you can do work and you can earn 5,000 rupees. But if you came to the lecture hall, Vasana, now you are listening to my lecture. So what is your opportunity cost? Vasana? I don't know whether you are sleeping or not. That's why I'm asking questions. Vasana, are you there with us?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Then what is your answer, Vasana? Let's say you have the chance of doing part-time job within this 2 hours period. Your salary is 5,000 then. But you came here to study or learn something in microeconomics. So what is your opportunity cost? Foregone cost? Did you get my question? Vasana?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what may be your answer?
$5,000.
Yes, very good. It's very simple one. Okay. The foregone cost. You miss the opportunity of earning this money because you came here. Okay. Hope you all understood clearly. Maybe your signal issues and all. Okay. It's okay. Your answer is correct. Very good, Vasana. Okay. Now we will move just to take a clear idea of opportunity cost. That means whatever must be given up to obtain some item or the value of the benefits foregone, that means sacrifice. You sacrificed your job and you came here. Okay, so that's the opportunity cost. So that is why we say opportunity cost is the potential gain lost from choosing one option over another. Okay, hope you all got the point now. Now there are some ways of calculating opportunity cost. Okay, so opportunity cost now we know. Next, best alternative sacrificed. That means what must be given up in order to acquire or achieve something. Okay, so as a general principle, we can express the opportunity cost as a ratio expressed as the sacrifice in one good in terms of gain in another. For example, I can show this equation like this. For example, there are two goods, X and Y. You can put any words there, okay? Your laptop and your smartphone or something, okay? So the opportunity cost of good Y means sacrifice of good X divided by gain in good Y, because the opportunity cost of good Y you are telling. Okay. So if you have the values for that, let's say you have the laptop and you have the smartphone, you have to give up this laptop. Okay. Then you sacrifice this one. Then the laptop price should come up as a numerator. Then denominator is the mobile phone. Okay. The value, if you are giving value. But sometimes opportunity cost may be not exact values. Sometimes qualitative characteristics are there. Okay. For example, let's say kindness, your beauty, okay, your intelligence. We can't measure in terms of, I mean monetary values. Okay. So in that case also we can measure the opportunity cost. Okay. So that's why without putting any values, I just put, let's say, opportunity cost of good Y, how much you're sacrificing of good X, maybe in monetary terms or maybe in qualitative terms. But what are the gains in good Y? Okay, maybe qualitative or quantitative both. In other way, we can say opportunity cost of good X, other good. So in that case also same way, sacrifice of good Y because you forgot or you missed that one to take X. So the opportunity cost is the foregone cost you sacrifice for good X. Gaining good X. Okay. So that's why I think if you know the basic idea, you can do any type of calculation to find out the opportunity cost. Up to now, it's clear to you all. If you're not getting points, please tell me, because I don't know your capacity, your absorbing capacity, or your catching power.
Excuse me.
Yes, any problem, Bandara?
Can you please describe it with a
Oh, okay, please.
example?
Very good. Yes, very good with example. Let's
We
say,
clearly get the equation.
yes, this equation. Let's say good y, good x. Okay, so your familiar examples I will take your smartphone and your laptop. Is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So then let's say you lost or you have to select only one. Now, this time you have these two things, but you have to have these two, 50-50, you have the chance of selecting one. But you selected the laptop. Okay. So then, let's say X is laptop, Y is your smartphone. Okay. So smartphone, first we will see opportunity. But you sacrifice the laptop. So laptop value, let's say, 1,000. Upper portion sacrifice 100,000. From your value, 50,000. That means if you take 100,000 divided by 50,000. The opportunity cost maybe, let's say, $100 divided by $50. How much? $2. So in your questions, sometimes you can have some values. Yes, answer is given too. Very good. Okay. So in chat box also you have given answer. So likewise, you can add any value that's sample equation. And add, or you can substitute any. Okay. And let's say if we convert this into qualitative, so you missed the chance of, let's say you have the same time, this 8 to 10, you have 2 lectures. Okay. So the quality of the lecture, the lectures, then you came to micro. Okay. Then if you value the quality, or something. Okay. So if you miss that lecture, the quality, let's say the all parameters, if we quantify the value, it can give 100. But you came to this microeconomics, it's low quality, so you can give again 50. Then your opportunity cost or foregone cost of missing that lecture is again 2. Okay, so likewise anything you can convert into monetary terms, and you can not money. Example, your satisfaction. So if you participate class A, your satisfaction is normally we measure. Learned till now, because in microeconomics we are learning later on utility, our satisfaction in utils, 10, let's say 10 utils for participating one lecture, your satisfaction. But you missed that lecture, you came to another lecture, That is only 2 utils, your satisfaction. You didn't say your opportunity cost, your foregone previous lecture is more. You may have taken more satisfaction if you participated that lecture. Qualitative terms. Now at least understood the concept, Bandara?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Please learn, and next day, if you have any problems, we can discuss more. Okay. First, I'll give just brief clarification. Then we will clearly explain again. 2 types of opportunity costs are there. Okay. Implicit. Explain. People can't easily account your kindness, your satisfaction, okay, and your any other, your beauty, okay. So that also we can measure. So normally these times we can give Likert scales or something to measure. So if we quantify these qualitative characteristics, it is called as implicit opportunity cost. Okay. But explicit opportunity cost means the tangible cost. As I explained, this much rupees, this much dollars, this much yuan or yen or any other monetary terms. Okay. So these are the tangible costs. If it costs in case of opportunity cost, cost, these 2 terms are Pereira. Okay, great. If you have any problems, it's okay. As Bandaras, then I can understand. I mean, all of the students are there. Yes, okay. So that's why afraid of asking questions, because very good students asking questions. Okay. Okay. Then we will see. Are moving to microeconomics, because here we can see we discuss the opportunity costs, we discuss how to take decisions, then we move to microeconomics, because microeconomics is a branch economics that study the behavior of individuals and firms in making decisions. Then we told we are making decisions, we have to trade off. We have to have the opportunity cost. Okay. So these all we are discussing in microeconomics. That's why, first of all, I need to explain you some terms we used in microeconomics. Okay. So that's why we need, when we discuss the behavior of individuals and firms, micro level, small units. Individuals means small. You all are separate individuals. When they make decisions, they need to decide how to allocate the scarce resources to fulfill individuals, these firms, unlimited needs and wants. Okay. So these all we are discussing in microeconomics. So that's why we call microeconomics as a branch of economics that study the behavior of individuals and firms in making decisions regarding how to allocate What are the interactions among these individuals? Maybe student to student, person to person, or firm to firm. Interactions may occur. Okay. So here, these are the main branches. As I explained in previous content, you may learn demand and supply, decisions of individual consumers, individual firms. Okay, so very important in microeconomics. Okay, micro level, small level economics, simply. Okay, so we are discussing about labor, other factors that affect individual decisions. Okay, then individual firms' decisions and consumers' decisions, all households' decisions. Do you know the difference between consumer and customer? In microeconomics, that's also very important. Consumer and customer. Anybody? Consumer and customer. Selmina. Ramachandra. Are you there? Selmina or Selmina? I don't know. Huh? Maybe Selmina. Are you there? Hello. Navindu, are you there? Navindu Viman sir. If you don't know, simply say don't know, then I can explain. Navindu? Maybe some students are there, but not in the class, maybe. But during the exam, you may have to suffer because, you know, my questions will not come directly from the PPT. You have to learn, you have to hear the discussion very carefully and learn from that discussion. Navindu, are you there?
A customer always purchases a product or service.
Okay.
Consumer is always the end user of a product or service.
Very good. Kavindu, no? Kavindu or Navindu?
Kavindu.
Kavindu, very good answer. Yes. Navindu say poor connection. Okay. Okay, Navindu, very good. Kavindu. Yes, customer is purchasing things. Okay, and consumer is the end user. For example, let's say I am a mother. I will buy a toy for my kid. Okay. My kid is the consumer. But sometimes consumer and customer may be same. I am taking a loaf of bread and I am just eating that one. Or I am taking a book and I buy a book and I use it for my studies. Can you understand these things now? Sometimes customer and consumer are same, but sometimes different because a small child can't go to a shop and buy something. Okay, so in that case, they are the consumers. Customers are different. Okay. So as Kavindu explained, it's very, very, very good answer. Consumers are the end users. So in microeconomics, we are learning especially the decisions of individual consumers because here we are not focusing on customers in microeconomics because consumers are the heart of any firm. Why? Because consumers are demanding things. Based on that, customers can buy. For example, my child demanded a toy car. Therefore, I go and buy. Okay, so that's why microeconomics mainly concerns about consumers, not only customers, because customers are equally important, but more than customers, consumers are important to the firms. Okay, because they require high profits. Okay, so I think these branches are clear to you all. Okay, so in a small picture at a micro and macro. In microeconomics, the small branch of economics, and macro, the larger level. Then you will be able to learn clearly about micro if you know the difference, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Okay, we can see these differences as well because it is easy for you to understand microeconomics more importantly if you know the difference very carefully. Okay, see here, microeconomics studies the individual income. If we consider the income, okay, individual choices, individual demand. So these all we consider in microeconomics. But macroeconomics, in large scale, we study the national income. Let's say we have different individuals. Okay, in this class, let's say we have now maybe some connection issues. Now only 43 students. Before 46 students were there. Okay, 3 were lost. Let's say these 43 students individually, one by one, we can ask, how about your family income? Okay, that is microeconomic concept. Let's say we learn the national income of a particular country. Okay, so that is related to macroeconomics. Okay, so another point, let's say we need to analyze the demand and supply of labor. How about the labor demand? How about the labor supply? So this is microeconomic. Then you need to clearly differentiate or recognize these two concepts. Okay, then macroeconomics, analyze the total employment in the economy. Okay, so employment rate. But here, individual demand and supply, demand for labor, supply labor. Okay, then if demand for labor is more than the supply, there is a deficit in labor. Okay, so labor should be more and more, labor should supply more and more in such cases. But total employment, it is important to understand any country's situation. Okay, that's why it's the holistic approach at macro level. But in microeconomics, normally deals with households and firms, small units. But here in macro, it deals with aggregate decisions. Okay, so we have to consider everybody's decisions together in macro level, large scale. Okay, and if we consider in microeconomics, we need to study individual prices one by one. What is your price? Let's say if we take specific goods, okay, separately, what are the prices of these goods? But in macroeconomics, we study overall price levels in macro scale. Okay, for example, here, let's say we consider individual products. How many, what are the prices of these products? But in macro, we consider overall price level. How about this whole product groups price level? What is the situation? So we consider in macroeconomics. Okay, and in micro, especially, we analyze the demand and supply of goods. Okay, so particular good or particular, let's say one person's situation also we can analyze in this case in microeconomics. But in macro, we analyze the aggregate demand and aggregate supply. That means one by one, person by person, we need to take demand and we need to get the aggregate or total value. That is the total demand for this particular product. But in microeconomics, we have to consider individual demand. Okay, so that's the main difference between the basic difference, micro and macro. We consider in national income, inflation. Okay, so these all in macro level, but micro level, every time we need to focus on individual firm, individual consumer, then small scale of the economy. Understood this main two concepts clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay,
Yes,
if any question, please tell me. Micro and macro. Okay, so that's why here we explain the small level, and that means the small unit we are considering micro, and macro we consider the large unit. Okay, so that's why in micro we consider here individual households, individual markets, individual consumers, individual firms. Okay, and these all individually we consider in micro or small level. Okay. So here, these are the main points I need to discuss. So today, we discussed mainly about your microeconomic unit. So here you can see, we discussed the scarcity, the opportunity cost, and fundamental economic problem. So what is the main problem we discussed? And the economic problem, main one problem we discussed today. What is that?
Demand,
Sorry?
demand and
Demand and supply, these are main market forces. I'm asking fundamental economic problem we discussed. What is the main problem? We have many wants and needs, but we have abundant resources.
Needs.
Sorry? Yes, Ravindu, I'm asking the fundamental economic problem we discussed here. Just the mental picture should be there. We have many wants and needs, but we have very limited what?
Resources.
Very good resources, Hashini. Yes. Then that is the main problem we are facing. So then economics, we need to discuss how people take rational decisions related to these things, related to usage of scarce resources to fulfill the unlimited needs and wants. It's a challenge. Okay. So then we discuss the economic activities are conducting households and firms. The system or geographic location we called as economy. So we discuss this circular flow. That's the way how they are trying to balance as a flow. But it's very difficult to balance this structure because people need more and more, and the population or the people of particular areas increasing gradually day by day, and it's difficult to satisfy their needs and wants by using the limited resources. That's what we mainly discussed today. Okay. So then these are the economic problem we mainly focus. What are the things we need to produce? How we should produce, and who should get the services? That means who are the consumers. So to answer these questions, we have these resources: land, labor, and capital. Okay. So land is there to produce what people need. Labor is there to produce what people required. Okay, and capital we need to have to produce goods and services. Otherwise, we don't have goods and services. One message is there. Could you please share the PDF or PPT to this lecture? Okay. I will share. Why? Okay. Email and WhatsApp group also there. No? Okay. I'll share my another question. Madam, please, can you tell what is the next? Ravindu, you're asking the section.
Yes, madam.
Okay, so section means here I just gave you the wait, I'll show you the content. Okay, so this is the content. Introduction to microeconomics. Still, we need to have another 1 hour. Then we can go to demand and supply.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, please learn this and come. That's why I have given this all course units and learning intended learning outcomes. Did you get this before or no? I guess. Do you have the course capsule with you? Course capsules means these contents and all. Do you have this before? Have you given no? Maybe not clear to you all. Okay. Do you get these all? I mean assessments and all before, or should I share it with you in my PPT? Hope you didn't get my point. Hello?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah. Very good. I'm asking whether you got this information before. I mean, your course content, intended learning outcome, description of this unit. Did you get these points before? Or I am sharing this for the first time?
You're sharing them
Okay,
the first
so
time.
I will, okay, thank you. If so, I will just include this also in my final PPT and I will share. Okay. And
Okay.
please, in the chat box, I will put my contact number 0718 387 487. 0718 387 487. This is my contact number. I think you remember, I am Gangani. And this is my email. Okay. If you have any questions also, you can ask anytime. Okay. In the class, you may didn't get my point. You can read again. And Gangani, Agicon, RUH.AC.LK. Okay. If you have any problems, you can call me or you can put me a message and your PPT, that WhatsApp number 075. Let me write that one. 075-064-9669. Okay. And that email, could you please send a reply mail to my email? Tatsara?
Okay, madam.
Okay, then I will just share my PPT with you all. Then you can read and you can ready and come. Okay, because the next section, demand and supply. If you learn these all and come with preparation, then I think you can have a better understanding. Okay, so these all we discussed today. Do you have any other problems or questions? questions? Otherwise, we can stop the lecture. Understood well or? Because I'm also not knowing since my first lecture. I don't know whether I just speak too fast, too slow, or just so understandable. Because if you know the basics.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Kaldu. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Then
you,
we'll
ma'am.
meet- Okay, good night. We'll meet next Wednesday. Okay, good night.
Good night, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm stop
Thank you,
sharing.
madam. Good night.
Thank you, madam.
Good
Thank
night.
you, madam.
Madam.
Okay, I'm going to end the meeting. Okay, good night, you all.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Record.